I am here with Kimberly Gail Williams, and we just taught a class here at Content this year, Content2025, on self-taping for actors.
Woo!
And so I want to talk a little bit about, with Kimberly, the class and what we discussed. So what do you think was the main emphasis of the class?
How to do a self-tape and not wreck it. and actually maybe book the role or at least get a callback.
Yes.
And all the little tips and tricks and secrets that we always think about and what not to do. I mean, there were so many things. We did a real good job, I think.
There was so many things, and you guys, it's so many little secrets and tips to make a self-tape great. And if you guys don't know this, a lot of actors, they have to self-tape themselves for auditions. And so this is something that constantly has to happen. And so instead of going in person for a casting, they've got to tape themselves for a casting. So they've got to know their lines, they've got to know the breakdown of the character. There's a lot of different things, but for the first time, well, not really the first time, but here lately, what's happening is that actors have to not only be an actor, but they've got to be a producer, they've got to be a camera person, a director, an editor,
Lighting, sound.
Yes, the whole thing. They've got to be a
kit
gaffer,
together.
all those things. And so there was a lot of ground that we covered, actually, on what to do, what not to do, how to position yourself in front of the camera, your eye lines, like where do you look when you're talking to someone, when you've got a reader there. It was really interesting, right?
But if you're feeling something, if you're really feeling something and you're really into the scene, it's going to be organic.
And how they loved that you have to create your environment.
Yeah.
And what is that environment, and you have to make it specific and then address the environment so that the person who's watching it,
Yes.
watching the tape, understands where you are. And they found that very helpful. So,
Well, because an audition really is just, you're standing in front of a camera,
Yeah.
and you've got to create
and the rest of your office that you're looking at.
your office, your bedroom, your hotel, wherever
Exactly.
you are, and you've got to create the environment to make it believable for this character. So it's really interesting. I think you have to think like a director is, getting back to all those positions, all the hats you have to wear as an actor these days. But you've got to think about a director, like, how are they going to really shoot this scene? And how can I emulate it in a self-tape? So I think that was really cool, exactly what you said about that.
Like in the example, we had distinct eye lines as far as three characters in the scene, in the sides. But then they had to remember, it was in a courtroom. They had to remember there's other things going on in the courtroom. You have people that are watching. You have the jury. You have, whatever. So it was creating that environment and then just remembering all those points so that it's real, because probably on set, when they're shooting it, all those things are going to be there.
Yeah, they're going to actually show those things. Of course, we can't do that in a self-tape.
No.
But what we can do is we can create, like Kimberly said, that environment, and also, you can you've got to make it believable.
Right.
And that's the thing. It can't be overdone, but when you're looking over to the jury, you've got to, the casting director's got to see that in your eyes, or when you're looking at the attorney, or when you're looking at the judge, or the accused. The casting director has to see that in the actor's eye and know that they are there in the moment, in the scene, and it makes it more real.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And another good point I thought that you brought it up, I think first, was listening.
Yeah.
When the other person, when the reader has a long, a paragraph, and you've got to respond, you've got to listen, because you're on tape as you're listening.
Yeah.
So you've got to look like you're actually listening to what they're actually saying.
And some of the best actors, if you watch the best actors that are on screen, you'll see them, some of the most intense moments are when they're listening to someone else talking to them, because they're so locked in and loaded, and you can see it. It's not only when you have lines, it's when you're listening to your scene partner, whoever's in the scene. Yeah, that was really good. And we also covered editing, which was kind of crazy, because there's so many bits and pieces you've got to understand when you're editing your tapes. You've got to get them all together, and a lot of the casting directors, they may want more than one take per scene, and then you may have an audition where you're doing 2 or 3 scenes.
Our
They're
take needs to be
seeing
different.
hundreds
Yes.
of actors, and they don't want to watch 2 takes if they're exactly the same.
No.
You've wasted their time, and their time is precious.
But put the best take first, and that's real important. So make
So it gets a little complicated.
Oh, and listening to instructions, because do those 2 or 3 scenes go together?
Right,
Does
right.
the slate separate? Do we
Right.
separate all those? So there were a million things to talk about.
So
and
much.
we had 3 hours, but we still didn't have enough time.
Oh my gosh, the time went by so fast.
fast. I'm
It
like,
did.
Ben, we only have 20 minutes to do this slide.
I know it was so quick. Well, thank you guys so
Yeah.
much. We just wanted to kind of give you the insider of what's going on here at Content. We're at Capernaum Studios here in the Poolville area. It's kind of northwest of Weatherford.
Yeah.
So if you guys know where Weatherford is, but it's a really great studio. They shot what?
The Chosen.
the
first
the
season here.
first 2 or 3 seasons of The Chosen here in the villages, the first century villages. So it's really cool. It's very
Washington's
iconic.
armor.
And Washington's armor. We just talked to another producer who's here that's about to shoot a
Western.
series, a Western. Yep. So there's a lot of things going on here at Capernaum Studios. So we're excited to be here, and just want to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what's going on. I really enjoyed the session, and Kimberly was fantastic.
Oh,
You guys,
and he
so
was
good.
fantastic.